Hello students, welcome to IAS by Heart. This is the session 7 of the Prelims East Season 2. In this session, we are going to discuss 10 most probable questions that can be expected in your upcoming Prelims examination 2021. Okay, these 10 questions have been modeled based on the analysis of last 10 years of UPSC Prelims question papers. So make sure that you are extracting best out of it. Without delay, we are getting into the questions. The first question: which among the following schedules of Constitution of India gives the tribals freedom to exercise legislative and executive powers through autonomous and regional councils? Okay. Question is about which schedule of the Constitution, which schedule of the schedules of the Constitution. Okay. You may think that there are different schedules from Schedule 1 to first schedule to 12th schedule, but particularly question about particular schedule. Okay, if you go through previous year question paper in the year of 2019, there was a question about schedules of the Constitution of India. Okay, the options were third schedule, fifth schedule, ninth schedule, 12th schedule. Based on this formula, we have formulated this question now: fifth schedule, sixth schedule, 11th schedule, and 12th schedule. Then you may think that there are lots of subjects in the polity and constitution for the upcoming prelims, but why particularly question about this schedule? Okay, if you go through current affairs and newspapers, there was a demand for Arunachal Pradesh about sixth schedule. Political parties and communist-based group have called for bringing the entire Arunachal Pradesh under the ambit of sixth schedule or Article 37, 371A of the Constitution. Okay. So demand for Arunachal Pradesh, and again, when the union government revoked the Article 370 of which was applied to Jammu and Kashmir, there was a growing demand of sixth schedule for Ladakh region, which is a underdeveloped region and a tribal region. Okay, so there is a trend in India that growing demand of these scheduled areas. Okay, that's why this question has been formulated on this fashion. Okay, so before solving this question, we have to go through all this explanation. Sixth schedule provides for the administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. So sixth schedule applies only to these states, AM, TM. That means Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram under Articles 244 and 275. Okay, so under Articles 244 and 275, these four states are come under the purview of sixth schedule. Okay, if you go through this picture, there is a mention of Meghalaya. There is a mention of Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, Assam, and Tripura, AM, TM. These are the examples of autonomous district and regional councils. Okay. Then what are the powers were granted to these six schedule areas in these states? Okay. The district and regional councils are empowered to assess and collect land revenue and impose certain specified taxes. So they have executive power. These are the functions of executive. So these autonomous and regional councils have executive power, and then the district and regional council can make laws. They can make laws on certain specified matters like land, forest, inheritance of property, and social customs, and so on. Okay, so they have the legislative powers. Also. After the executive, they have also legislative powers. And then the district and regional councils within the territorial jurisdiction can constitute village council or courts for trial of suits and cases between tribes. So they have also judicial powers. So they have given greater autonomy in this under the sixth schedule. Okay, they have legislative power, executive power, and judicial powers. Okay, then what about the role of governor? These scheduled areas are located in the states, right? So what are the role of governor in this regard? Governor is empowered to organize and reorganize the autonomous district. He or she has the power to organize and reorganize. And then the most important provision is the Act of Parliament or particular state legislature with respect to these areas shall not apply or do not apply to autonomous district and autonomous regions or apply with specific modifications and exceptions. So the laws made by Parliament and the state legislature do not directly apply to these autonomous district and regional councils, and six schedule areas. However, it can be modified and then can be applied with the local needs of these six schedule areas. Okay, so after going through all this explanation, we are coming back to solve this question. Which among the following schedules of the Constitution of India gives the tribal freedom to exercise legislative or executive powers through autonomous regional and district council? So after going through all this explanation, we are coming to the conclusion that the correct answer could be option B. The correct answer could be option B. Sixth schedule is the correct answer. Okay. So moving to second question. The second question is, he was an elegant and accomplished writer. Okay. First major supporter of Swadeshi values in Indian art. So he is associated with Indian literature and art. Sought to modernize Mughal and Rajput styles in order to counter the influence of Western models of art. He was. So, if you go through our syllabus for UPSC examination, there is a topic that great freedom fighters and personalities. So, you should read about all these great personalities in our freedom struggle. Okay. The options were Abanindranath Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, Rajinikanth Sen, and Zainul Abidin. Okay. So you may think that there are lots of important personalities like Motilal Nehru, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lala Lajpati Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, etc. Then particularly question about this painting, people who are associated with the literature and painting during the freedom struggle. Okay. So this question has been modeled in this particular manner. Why? If you go through 2018 prelims question paper, there was a question in this fashion. He wrote biographies of Mazzini, Garibaldi, Shivaji, Sri Krishna, stayed in America for some time and was also elected to the Central Assembly. Who was a personality associated with all these information or all these characters. Okay. So the options were Aurobindo Ghosh, Bipin Chandrapal, Lala Lajpati Rai, and Motilal Nehru. Okay. So the correct answer here is Lala Lajpati Rai. So in this fashion, we have formulated this question in the similar manner. Okay. Then you may think that there are lots of personalities. Why particularly about some of these? One of the four personalities. Okay. If you go through our explanation, here lies the answer. The 150th birth anniversary of Abanindranath Tagore was observed on 7th August 2020. So it becomes very important for the upcoming prelims. It will be very handy for you to pick question about Abanindranath Tagore in the same fashion as was asked in the year 2018. Okay, so we have to go through all this information before solving that question. Abanindranath Tagore, he was a nephew of Rabindranath Tagore. He was associated with the Rabindranath Tagore and first major supporter of Swadeshi values in Indian art. Okay. First created Indian Society of Oriental Art and later established Bengal School of Art. So he was associated with the Indian Society of Oriental Art and Bengal School of Art. Okay. His paintings were leaning towards painting images with historic and literary allusions. It becomes very important. So there can be a statement about Abanindranath Tagore in this fashion. Okay. So you have to very clear about all these things. Then sought to modernize Mughal and the Rajput styles in order to counter influence of Western models of art. Yes, and during the freedom struggle, British were tried to influence their superior culture on Indian paintings and literature. So at that time, he was the one prominent personality who sought to modernize Mughal and Rajput styles to counter the influence of Western models of art. Okay, why his particular picture is inserted here is, if you see his, if you see this picture, you don't forget any information about this personality. That is why. Then his famous paintings. Okay, his famous paintings were Ganesh Janani, Bharata Mata, the victory of Buddha, the passing of Shah Jahan, journeys, and etc. So there can be a question that the Ganesh Janani, which was a famous painting of, then they will give, UPSC will give 4 personality. You have to identify one correct answer. The personality associated with that painting from the 4 personalities. Okay, so you have to be very clear about all these informations. Please ensure that you have read all information about all these areas. Okay, then his books. He was also a famous writer, right? If you go through our question, there was a statement. but he was an elegant accomplished writer, so he has written some books. So his book like Budo Angla, Hidar Padur, and Rashkahini are best example of Bengali children's literature. Okay, he influenced the children through these books of Indian culture and heritage. And then he liked to paint sets of images dealing with the theme or texts such as Arabian Nights and Krishna Leela. Okay, so you have to very clear about his famous paintings, his books, and then his image, set of images he would like to paint. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. So after going through all this information, these informations are the descriptions of Abanindranath Tagore, the great personality of our Indian freedom struggle in the era of painting and literature. Okay, then we are moving to the third question. Okay, third question. As per the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF report, lead pollution among children has raised serious concern. Why? Okay, after a long time, UNICEF has released an important report about the children's health and environment. So the report titled the toxic truth. Okay, so this question has been picked up from this topic. Then it is a statement based question. So there are three statements. Then you may think that there are lots of areas in environment to take questions. Why particularly question about this one? And then why in this fashion, in statement based fashion? Okay. So if you go through our 2019 prelims, if you go through our 2019 prelims question paper, there was a question about microbeads. Why is there a great concern about the microbeads that are released into the environment? There were 4 options, A, B, C, D. You have to pick the correct answer. Okay. Based on this one, we have formulated this question. And then microbeads. At that time, plastic pollution were rigorously discussed in international forums and other environmental experts. So that is why question was from microbeads released into the environment. Based on this question, we have formulated this one. UNICEF report becomes important with relate to our environmental pollution. Okay. So why? Before going through all these statements, we are coming to gather the information about this report. What are the important findings of this report? So the UNICEF released a report titled The Toxic Truth. The Toxic Truth, Children's Exposure to Lead Pollution Undermines a Generation of Potential. So these children are the future of our world workforce and world development and growth. Okay, so they are the generation of potential. Due to this lead pollution, we are undermining the generation of potential. Okay, it states that around 1 in 3 children. It is very important. You should note this fact. You can use it in your mains and essay also. 1 in 3 children has blood lead levels are above 5 micrograms per deciliter. Okay, so it becomes very important. You can note that. And then lead is a potent neurotoxin that causes irreparable harm to children's brains and linked to mental health and behavior problems. It is a potent neurotoxin causes irreparable harm to children's brain. So it becomes very important. That is what the title of the report undermines the generation of potential. Okay, through damaging the brains. And then lead in the blood can damage red blood cells and limit their ability to carry oxygen to the organs and tissues that need it, causing anemia. So if the level of the lead increases in our blood, it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So there would not be any important organ functions. It can lead to anemia. Then it can affect bones, interfering with the absorption of calcium. So it also affects both. It becomes very important. And then there is an international initiative to counter this pollution. So the initiative name is the Global Alliance to Eliminate Lead Paint. Is a cooperative initiative jointly led by WHO and UNEP. WHO, this initiative is by WHO and UNEP to prevent children's exposure to lead from paints. Okay, so after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. As per the UNICEF report, lead pollution among children has raised serious concern. Why? Lead is a potent neurotoxin that causes irreparable harm to children's brain. As we saw now, that is a correct statement. That's a correct statement. And then lead in the blood can damage red blood cells and limit their ability to carry oxygen. That's also correct. I couldn't manage this one. And then it can also affect bones. So all these statements are correct. Then question is about correct statement. Question is about correct answer. So the answer could be option D. The correct answer could be option D. All the statements are correct. Okay. So we are moving to next question. So question, consider the following. Sorry guys, I couldn't manage with this part. Consider the following: Tilia Rumal, Sorai cover painting, Arambavur wood carvings, Kandamal Haldi. Geographical indication registry has given GA tag for which of the above? Okay. So why question about geographical indication tag products, GA products, and in this fashion? Okay. Then first, if you go through last 5-6 years of question paper, there was no question about the product of geography GI tags. So it may be very handy for UPSC for the upcoming prelims. And even every year there are number of products given in the GI tag in India. So it becomes very important for the upcoming prelims examination. Then question in this fashion, why? If you go through 2018 prelims question paper, there was a question about minimum support price. So in this model, we have formulated that question. Consider the following statements: areca nut, barley, coffee, finger millet, groundnut, sesame, turmeric. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has announced minimum support price for which of the above? So there was 4 options. You have to pick the correct option. So based on this model, we have formulated that same model for GI tag. So GI tag. Then before solving this question, we are moving to explanation page to gather information about GI tag. So we have to go through the basic information, basic knowledge about GI tag. Okay, what is GI tag then? The geographical indication tag. GI is a sign used on product that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. And the geographical indication tag, GI tag is given as per the Geographical Indications Registration and Protection Act 1999. Okay. So this is the act which governs the geographical indication tag in India. This act was enacted by Parliament to have an obligation to the WTO agreements. Okay. And then GI tag is given by a geographical indication registry under the Department of Industrial Policy, Industrial Promotion and Internal Trade. So geographical indication registry is a authority which is giving geographical indication for the products. Okay, a GI tag is registered for an initial period of 10 years. So it is for only applicable for a period of 10 years. Then after every 10 years, we have to renew. Okay, which must be renewed after every 10 years. And then the Darjeeling tea is the first Indian product to get the geographical indication tag in 2004. Okay, so it becomes very important. Darjeeling tea is the first product to get the geographical indication tag in India. Okay, okay. Then what are the products recognized under GI tag? Agriculture product, agriculture product. Sorry, yes, I couldn't cope up with this type. Agriculture, natural or manufactured product. Manufactured products include handicrafts and industrial goods are recognized under GI tag. So both agriculture, natural or manufactured product, even manufactured products are covered under GI tag. Then what are the benefits available to GI tag products? It provides legal protection to Indian geographical indication, thus preventing unauthorized use of registered GI by others. So it becomes very crucial information. It gives a legal protection to geographical indications, and then it promotes the economic prosperity of producers of goods produced in a geographical territory. Yes, it increases their income. GI protection in India leads to recognition of the product in other countries, is thus boosting export. So it becomes very important. Giving GI tag is GATAG increases our exports globally. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. So if you go through all our newspapers and Ministry of Commerce and Industry website, you can find that Tulia Rumal, Sore cover painting, Aramba wood carvings, and Kandamal all were given geographic indication tag in the year 2020. Okay, Tulia Rumal, which is from Andhra Pradesh, Sore cover painting, which is from Jharkhand, and then Aramba wood carvings from Tamil Nadu, Gandamal Haldi from Odisha. So all the statements, all the products are correct. So the correct answer would be, the correct answer would be option D. Okay. Okay. We are moving to the next question. Question 5. The percentage of enrolled, consider the following statements. The percentage of enrolled children from government and private schools owning a smartphone increased enormously. Increased enormously last year. Okay, last year means from 2020 to 2021 March. This is the financial year, right? That is the last year. So you should be very careful about this. Enormously, it is a extreme word used in this statement. And then India's gross domestic expenditure on research and development is the lowest among the top 10 economies. This is also extreme statement. Okay. Then you may think that there are lot of economic concepts in the economic subject for UPSC examination, but particular question, why particular question about these areas? Okay, so if you go through, the question is about correct statement. Okay, we will come back to that. If you go through the prelims 2018 question paper, there was a question about this economic trends. So this question I picked from economic survey at that time, based on the information provided in the economic survey as trend analysis. Trend analysis. Every year UPSC asks question from economic survey or other economic areas in the trend analysis. Okay, so consider the following statements. In this last 5 years, and then it was not imposed any custom duty. So based on this model, we have formulated this question. Okay, then why question now? You know, recently the economic survey for 2020, in the year of 2020 and 21 was released. Okay, so based on this economic survey, we have made this question for your understanding. If you go through our economic survey, the current account balance, economic survey 2020 to 21, the year was ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so there was a dull economic situation throughout the world. We should bear this in mind. Okay, current account balance in the year, if you go through this diagram, if you go through the diagram in the year of 2020-21, you can see that it was 3.1% of GDP. Here, percentage of GDP, current account balance, percentage of GDP, 3.1% of GDP, current account balance. So it has been increased. It was in negative territory, but it has to move to positive territory of 3.1% of India's GDP. Okay, then forex reserves. For the first time, India has recorded the highest forex reserve in the year 2020-21. Why means in significantly India's export increased, import decreased, because there was no consumption of oil. So India's major import was cut at that time during the lockdown, and India exported many pharmaceutical products. So the export increased. That is why forex reserve increased. That is why our current account balance increased. And then agriculture, forestry, and fishing. It has been registered a growth. Fishing recorded overall height production during this 2020-21, and then industrial growth rate of GB at basic prices. Basic prices means constant prices. Constant prices means the government will fix a 2011-12 or 2014-15 as basic price. So it will calculate all the products based on this price only. That is called the basic price. It has been led to minus 9.6. Why 9.6? There was no demand at that time, and there was a disruption in the supply chain also during the lockdown. So economic activity and the production came into the negative territory. That's why industrial growth was in the negative territory. And then services growth rate of GVA at basic price in percentage of it was also in the negative territory, because there was no demand. There was no demand. There was no demand for services though. So in the services sector also declined to negative territory. And then if you come to the inflation, averages, CPI was increased, but WPI was decreased. WPI decreased means there was no productivity, because there was no economic activity during the lockdown in the last 1 year due to COVID pandemic. And then how CPI increased means there was a supply of food and other essential. It increased. At that time, there was a supply chain disruption. At that time, the inflation, the cost of this, all the consumer goods were increased. That is why it came into positive territory. And then fiscal deficit as percentage of GDP is 3.5. This fiscal deficit is determined by our FRBM Act. So it was fixed in the percentage of 3, but in the last year, our Union Finance Minister used the escape clause in the event of any emergency or any economic crisis or any other pandemic-like situation, we can reach this 3% to 3.5. So the fiscal deficit was 3.5%. So after going through all this information, we are going to see the highlights of the economic survey 2020-21. Okay. India's sovereign credit ratings do not reflect its fundamental. It was one major allegation of Indian government towards these credit rating agencies. So India is the fifth largest economy. The economic base of India is very huge, but this frequently these credit rating agencies do not reflect our fundamentals of our economic size. Though it was highlighted in the economic survey. And then unlike in advanced economies, in India, economic growth and inequality converge in terms of their effects on socio-economic indicators. So in other advanced economies, if there was economic growth, the inequality diverged. But in case of India, it is converge means the gap was narrowed in their effects on socio-economic indicators. The survey argues that redistribution is only feasible in a developing economy if the size of the economy grows. Only when there is economic growth and the resource redistribution from this resource areas to poor people. Okay, the reverse this redistribution. So if the economy grows exponentially, we can ensure a resource redistribution. It was highlighted by the economic survey. Over-regulation results in regulation being ineffective. It was an important factor. It was a very important factor. For this, our economic survey has highlighted that over-regulation results in regulations being ineffective. Okay. So there is a duplication of regulations which led to inefficiency in the economy of India. Okay. So the ease of doing business was curtailed severely due to over-regulation. It was highlighted in the economic survey 2020 and 21. Legal infrastructure for the recovery of loans needs to be strengthened. Okay. So there was a judicial delay in overcoming this recovery of bad loans. There was a great amount of bad loans, NPAs in India. So there should be a clear-cut legal infrastructure for the recovery of loans. It was highlighted in the economic survey. India entered the top 50 innovative countries for the first time in 2020. It becomes very important. India is emerging as a global innovation hub. For the first time, India has come in the top 5 innovation countries. India's GDP estimated to contract by 7.7% due to the pandemic COVID-19. Okay. Then if you see sector-wise, agriculture has remained the silver lining. Yes. All other areas where the production of all other areas were different, but only hope was at that time is our agriculture sector, because the migrant workers returned back to their rural areas and performed the economic activity of agriculture activities. So it was only silver lining. Forex reserve at all-time high of $586.1 billion as on January 8, 2021. Okay, for all-time high of 586.1 billion. India to end with an annual current account surplus after 17 years. For the first time after 17 years, India ended with annual current account surplus because, as I told, export was increased significantly, but import was reduced significantly. That is why it was in a positive territory. So current account was in surplus after 17 years. International Solar Alliance, which was initiative of India and France, launched two initiatives: World Solar Bank, One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative. Okay. First, fish production reached an all-time high of 14.16 million metric tons during the year 2019 and 20. So fish production reached all-time high. Okay, a strong V-shaped recovery of economic activity after lockdown. V-shaped recovery means this like situation. So till COVID pandemic, the economy was going in this way. After a lockdown, the reduced economic production, reduced drastically, economic growth fell into the negative territory. After the lockdown removed, the economic activity started suddenly recovering very fast. So this is called V-shaped recovery. Okay. India's space sector has grown exponentially in the past 6 decades. So it is an important sector which grown exponentially in the past consistently for past 6 decades. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. Solve this question. The percentage of enrolled children from government and private schools owning a smartphone increased enormously last years. Yes. After the lockdown, schools were remained closed. So classes have started in the via online. So through mobile phones, laptops, and other internet modems, internet modes. So it was increased enormously. So the first statement is correct. Okay, first statement is correct. India's gross domestic expenditure on research and development is the lowest among top 10 economies. This is also correct. So it was highlighted by our economic survey. So question is about correct statement. The answer would be option C. Both the statements are correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. So we are moving to next question. Recently, India signed a deal known as Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics Agreement with which of the following countries? There are 4 options. Option A, Russia. Option B, Canada. Option C, Iran. Option D, United States of America. Okay. So there are lots of happenings in the arena for Indian current affairs, but particularly question about this agreement. Why? You may think that why particularly question about this topic. If you go through our previous year question papers in the year 2019, there was a question about recently India signed a deal known as Action Plan for Prioritization and Implementation of Cooperation Areas in the Nuclear Field with which of the following countries? There are 4 options: Japan, Russia, United Kingdom, United States of America. Based on this model, based on this question, we have modeled this question. So then why question about this particular agreement? So if you go through our explanation page, recently India cleared RELOS, R-E-L-O-S. RELOS means Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics Deal with Russia. So the answer lies here. The answer is Russia. Okay. What is the signing of Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics Agreement means? It enables Indian ships or aircrafts to use Russian ports or airfields without having to take permission or make immediate payments. So this is the significance of signing this deal. Okay. Then what are the other deals? Military logistics support agreements India signed with the other countries. Okay. The first one is Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, LEMOA, with United States in 2016. So India has signed a military logistics support agreement with the United States, and then implementing arrangement concerning mutual coordination, logistics and services support with Singapore. Yes, after USA, Singapore in the year 2000. Sorry guys. Singapore. Okay. And then agreement for provision of reciprocal logistics support with France in 2008, and then Singapore. Yeah, then France, and then agreement to extend logistics support with Republic of Korea in 2019. So Korea. So India has signed 4 military logistics support agreements with one with the USA, one with Singapore, one with France, one with Republic of Korea. Next one is with Russia. So after going through this information, we are coming back to solve this question. Sorry. So the correct answer is option. The correct answer is option here, Russia. It becomes very important for the upcoming prelims examination. Okay. So we are moving to next question. Question 7. in the context of biotechnology development. So if you go through UPSC syllabus, there is clearly mentioned the science and technology. In the science and technology, one of the segment is biotechnology. In science and technology, there are different technologies: nuclear technologies, defense technologies, biotechnologies, and other technologies. Okay, so you should be very clear about all these segments, and then you should have to prepare all these current affairs related information. Okay, in the context of biotechnology developments, which among the following are the applications of nanoscience? So, question about nanoscience. So, you may think that there are lots of science and technology developments, but why particularly question about biotechnology developments, and in that biotechnology development, why particularly about nanoscience? So, then question about why in this model, in this statement, application based model. Okay. For this, if you go through our UPSC prelims 2019 question, there was a question that in the context of wearable technology, which of the following tasks is or are accomplished by wearable devices? There are three tasks given. You have to choose the correct answer based on this model. This wearable technology was emerging one in recent times, so UPSC focus on that technology. So, it placed a question about wearable technology in the 2019 prelims examination. So, based on this model, we have formulated question about biotechnology development, nanoscience. Then you may think that why particularly about nanoscience. So, if you go through our explanation page, you can see that recently research team from Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, has developed a nanoscience that destroys cell membrane of bacteria. It becomes very crucial in this time. Why? Because the India and the other global countries are ravaged by global pandemic COVID-19. So it becomes very important, and the role of nanoscience becomes very important in the balance of biotechnological developments. Okay, that's why this question has been placed in this discussion forum. Then nanoscience are inorganic, not organic. They are inorganic. Nanoscience are inorganic nanoparticles that mimic. It is not original, which mimics. Mimics means it replicates or it reflects the enzyme-like properties in redox reaction. Redox means reduction oxidation reactions, processing both unique properties of nanomaterials and the catalytic function. That is why it is called as redox reaction. Reduction and oxidation reactions. If you read a science book from 8th standard to 10th standard, you will come to know what is redox reactions in this and basic information about redox reactions. Okay, so you have to very clear about all these things. And processing both unique properties of nanomaterials and catalytic function. It is a both unique property of nanoscience, and then because of high catalytic activity, stability, and multifunctionality. This is the important properties of nanoscience. They are high catalytic activity, stability, and multifunctional. Nanoscience are of increasingly wide interest in the field of environmental science and technology. Why means nanoscience can be used to detect ions, molecules, and inorganic components both quantitatively and qualitatively. So it becomes very important. That is what nanoscience are becomes very important. And then they have also been applied for destruction of multi-drug resistant bacteria and the degradation of various organic pollutants. So in the environmental area, the pollution becomes very important factor. So it can be used to degrade the organic pollutants. And then multi-drug resistant bacteria. If you know MDR TB, so India is one of the India is the highest consumption of antibiotic among the population. So it has created multi-drug resistant in India, and the TB has become MDR TB, multi-drug resistance TB. It becomes very difficult for to eliminate the TB from India due to multi-drug resistance in nature. So the enzymes can be used to destruct the multi-drug resistant bacteria in this health sector. So after going through all these explanations, we are coming back to solve this question. Okay. In the context of biotechnology development, which among the following are the applications of nanoscience? Destruction, multi-drug resistant bacteria. Yes, as we saw, it is a very important one application of nanoscience. Detecting ions, molecules, and organic compounds. Yes, this is also correct. Reduction and treatment of environmental pollution. This is also correct. Question about which one correct answer. The answer would be all the statements are correct. So the correct answer would be option D. Okay, so after solving this question, we are moving to next question. Question 8. Global Multidimensional Poverty Index is released jointly by. So there are two organizations jointly releases this index, Multidimensional Poverty Index. So as I told you our earlier discussions, from every year UPSC asks one question from this indexes or reports, which was released by international organization, other important international forums. So you should be very clear about all these indexes and reports. Okay. So before going through all this statement, why this particularly this question in this fashion means if you go through 2017 question paper, there was a question about global gender gap index. There was a 4 interest organizations given. You have to choose the correct organization which gives the global gender gap index. Based on this model, we have formulated this question. Then why particular question about global multidimensional poverty index means if you go through our explanation page, in the year 2020, this index was released. It is jointly released by Oxfam Poverty and Human Development Initiative (OPHI) and UNDP United Nations Development Program. Okay, so answer lies here, and then it has 3 key parameters, 10 indicators. Parameter is different, indicator is different. It has 3 important parameters, 10 indicators. What are these three parameters means? Health, education, and standard of living. These are the 3 important key parameters of global multidimensional poverty index. What are the findings of this index, which was released in 2020 by OPHI and UNDP? India had the biggest reduction in the number of multidimensional poor people, estimated at over 270 million during 2005 to 2015 period. So India has the biggest reduction. That is why this report, this index become very important for the upcoming prelims examination. UPSC surely will deduct about all this information. So India had the biggest reduction, and then about 84% of multi-dimensionally poor people live in sub-Saharan Africa and Asia. So these 2 continents are the poor continents, and sub-Saharan Africa is the least developed continent and very poor continent, along with South Asia. So 84% of global multidimensional poor people are living in these 2 continents. So this become very crucial about this index, which was released in the year 2020. So after going through all this information, we are coming back to solve this question. Global Multidimensional Poverty Index is released jointly by means Oxfam Poverty Human Development Initiative and UNDP. This is the correct answer. As we saw in the explanation page, option B is the correct answer. So after solving this question, we are moving to next question. Question 9. Consider the following pairs. Folk dances state. Okay. Why in this fashion? Match the following. First question is why in this fashion? It can be formulated in any other fashion. Then why in this fashion? And then particularly question about why folk dances. There are important classical dances and other art forms in India. Why particularly about folk dances? Okay. If you go through the question papers of last 5-6 years, you cannot find particular question about folk dances. They have mixed up other areas and they asked questions, but not exclusively for folk dances. But why folk dance become important means every year, January 26 and then August 15, these folk dances are performed in our Republic Day parade and the Independence Day parade. So it becomes very important and it becomes very handy for UPSC to pick questions. And also in last 5 years, there was no exclusive question from folk dances. Okay, here we have formulated folk dances associated with the state. But why in this fashion means if you go through the question paper of 2018, there was a question in the same manner. That is, we have adopted this mechanism here to formulate question in folk dances. So tradition, state, there was 3. One is a festival and one is a dance, and 3 states given. We have to pick the correctly matched pair. So after going through this question, we are seeing that this question have been modeled in the same fashion. Okay, then question. So before solving this question, we have to see important folk dances which are performed by people in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, Manipur. In the state of Manipur, Dolcholam, Tanta, Lai Haropa, Pongcholam, Ramba Daibi, Nupa dance, Raslila, Gurba Kisai, Loksha. It is not mandatory that you have to mug up all these, you have to memorize all these folk dances. You have just to have a look at it. So it may help in your prelims to detect the correct option. So Manipur is associated with Dulcholam, Tangta, Lai Haraba, Puncholam, and other dances. Please go through all these dances. And then Rajasthan, Boomer, important dance. Chakri, Ganagor, Julan Leela, important dance. Jumma, Sushini, Galbal, Galbelia becomes very important. It is also called snake dance. Okay. It is performed by Kalbelia tribe in Rajasthan. And then Bihar, Chada Jatin, Bako Bakain, important. Banwaria, Samachakwa, Videsia. In the state of Chhattisgarh, Gaurmuria, it becomes important folk dances. Pandi, Ratnachai becomes important. Bandwani, Vedamadi, Kapalik, Paradacharik, and Chandai. So, and then Uttar Pradesh. Now that it becomes important. Ras Leela, all these are important folk dances in Uttar Pradesh, along with Jora, Chaperi, and Jita. So, after going through all these folk dances, we are coming back to solve this question. Lai Haroba, as we saw now, it is associated with which one? Lai Haroba here. Sorry, Lai Haroba is associated with Manipur. So, first statement is incorrect. Okay. So, question is about incorrect statement. So, the answer should come with option 1. So, you can remove option B. And then Julan Leela. Julan Leela is associated with one, Rajasthan. As we saw in the explanation page, see, Julan Leela is associated with which one? Rajasthan. So 2 is also incorrect statement. So 2 should be present in the answer. So you can eliminate option C. So Bako Bakain, Manipur. So if you go through our explanation page, Bako Bakain is from the state of Bihar. So this is also incorrect. So question is about incorrectly matched pair. So the answer would be all the matches are incorrectly matched. So the answer would be option D. Okay. So after solving this question, we are moving to 10th question. What is daylight saving time? Daylight saving time. So there are lots of concepts in geography and other areas. Why particular question about daylight and why in this manner? Okay. I think it will be very confusing options. So even though you are very clear about this daylight saving time, after going through all these options, you may be confused. So before solving this question, why in this fashion means, if you go through prelims in the 2020, sorry, this is not in 2020, it is in 2019. It was asked in the year 2019. On 25 June, the sun, there was a four options. There was four options, A, B, C, D. You have to pick the correct answer. It is very basic question which was asked from NCERT. So it is a very basic question, but UPSC has asked. Okay. So after going through this question, why in this fashion? Why question is about daylight saving time? So the answer lies in the explanation page. Daylight saving time, DST. What is DST means? It is the practice of resetting clocks ahead by an hour in spring. So ahead in the time in spring, it is ahead by 1 hour, and in autumn behind 1 hour. So increasing 1 hour in the spring season, reducing 1 hour in the autumn season. Why? Okay. During these months, countries that follow this system get an extra hour of daylight in the evening. Yes. So during the spring, ahead by 1 hour mean, and during the autumn, behind 1 hour means it gains 1 hour in between. So these countries get 1 hour extra time, because the spring to fall cycle is opposite in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Yes, this is the year. This is northern hemisphere. This is southern hemisphere. So June 21 here, summer solstice, here winter solstice. Okay, so it is directly opposite. If here it is winter solstice, here summer. If here winter means here summer. So because the cycle spring to fall cycle is opposite in the northern and southern hemisphere, daylight saving time lasts from March to October or November in Europe and in US. Yes, because it is in both Europe and US in the northern hemisphere, and from September to October in April in the New Zealand and Australia because it is in the southern hemisphere. So it is very basic understanding. If you read NCERT, 6th, 7th NCERT, 6th standard, 7th standard NCERT geography, you can clearly infer this information. And the DST is in practice in some 70 countries, including those in the European Union. But the important thing is India does not follow daylight saving time. It becomes very important. But India is not discussing about this daylight saving time because as from Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat, it takes nearly 2.5 hour difference. Okay, sorry, if I'm not wrong, it is 2 or 2.5 hour. Okay, so India does not follow daylight saving time. Countries near the because countries near the equator do not experience high variation daytime hours between seasons. Yes, India is near to equator. It lies in the tropical region. So India does not have follow daylight saving time. So after going through the information, we are coming back to solve this question. So what is saving daylight saving time means? It is the practice of setting clock ahead by an hour in spring and behind by an hour in autumn. This is the correct answer as we saw in the explanation. So the answer, correct answer would be option A. Okay. So after completing all these questions, we are coming to summarizing our session was held in today. So the first question is about sixth schedule from Polity and Constitution. Then Abanindranath Tagore from History, Heritage and Culture. Lead pollution from environment. GA tag from our current affair economics, economic survey in the peer economic trends and analysis, and then RELOS related to international affairs, and then nanoscience from science and technology, and GMPI, Global Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index from World International Organizations, folk dances from our heritage and culture, daylight saving time from geography. So we have covered diverse topics in this session. So make sure that you are excited based on utilization of these sessions and stay focused and stay motivated. Okay. Okay, student. Any questions? If you have any questions, come raise your doubts and queries in the comment section. We are very glad to solve all your queries and doubts. Okay. Thank you.